Thank you. So when people are getting these codes back from the IRS, the normal person reporting a W-4 that's just coming into this is going to be, they're going to have that fear that's put into them because we've been indoctrinated to be so scared of the IRS.
Yeah. Well, and other groups are fear mongering on that, saying, "Oh, they led you wrong. They did you wrong. You did it wrong, and you shouldn't have done this document or this." Well, you didn't sign anything, so there's nothing wrong. Okay, there's no endorsement on it, and your good faith is right on the front of the document that we give a cover letter for to explain everything we're doing. So these people have all taken parts of what I've taught and used it. Um, there's people that claim that this was their process in the beginning, and I laugh at that because I didn't know that they were around before the IRS, and they actually they must have given the IRS the idea because and the IRS adopted it. So I mean, they should be getting some sort of credit, I would think, if they know who they are, but apparently that's an issue too. So we won't get into that, but
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So, I'm sorry that I went over, but I'm just bringing more questions. So an indication of a receipt you said earlier. So if I get a receipt from a store, is that an indication that I have something in trust since there is
well,
no,
let me ask you this. In 1933, 1934, when they were issuing silver certificates and you brought silver up to the window, what did they give you?
a receipt? So the receipts are an indication that you left something behind.
Receipt is a proof of something, yes, of a deposit of something that someone somewhere is entitled to when they have the knowledge.
Okay, thank
And
you.
I will tell you, just by default, as I said, when you drop off something without instructions, those who are privy to the knowledge can go back and claim them. If you don't claim them, they default to the state. So when you go and are doing receipts, these are businesses that are tied to the Secretary of State. The Secretary of State is a state of whatever, which is the property of or a subsidiary of the District of Columbia. So it's all one company you're doing business with, even though you have all these subsidiaries. And even if you create your own company, you are the United States because your company is registered and titled to them. They give you permission to operate in their commerce world. So a country, for example, someone from a different country, I get this quite often, that's just a different company you have business with. It's not a country at all. It's a different company, and people get naturalization paperwork and come over here to be doing commerce in this company. It's not a country. So being clear on that, and this can be done, you can fix all this with naturalization as well. People from different countries are running into problems. So that can all be fixed. It's just a matter of a record once you learn who you are.
So it sounds to me that you're saying that we're all foreign.
Well, we are foreign, but we use domestic documentation that changes a record and we don't know how to fix it. We don't even understand it. We
Right.
don't know that there is no tangible money with what we're doing. We're only able to make credit on signatures right now. So until we learn that, then everything we own, even houses, cars, everything is titled to someone else. And a
So,
mortgage is nothing more than a promise to pay something that is already paid for. And when you signed at the closing table, that mortgage is paid for right away. They're creating a contract, a purchase contract after that to pay in installment notes, and that's your consent.
so you're saying here that not most of the world don't know that they don't own their home, right? They don't.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, look on the deed. It says that you're a tenant.
Okay.
It
Thank you.
says right there. Yep.
Thank you. So now
It's
when,
fixable though. It can be fixed. It can be fixed with knowledge. People just got to learn. all this stuff can be fixed. It's just a matter of having the knowledge and investing a little time in yourself, and reading. You got to read, you got to learn, because everything is hidden in, well, you'll find hidden in history, but
In the
even the
book.
history books are hidden. The stuff in the history's been hidden through revisions of books.
Do you have a suggestion for people? Could you name one or two books that people could start reading into to learn a little bit about this stuff?
Um, well, The Art of Passing the Buck is a really good book. Um, I really dig that. There is the learning equity, is key. People got to learn that all of the things that were organic, the truth is always going to be the truth. Everything else after that is color of law. So they're going to change the color to be whatever they want it to be, but the truth is always the truth. So when you learn to speak the truth in a way that is above and superior to their communication, then we have an advantage, and we can do things beyond what we ever imagined.
Thank you. You're saying color of law. So could you elaborate on that more? When you say color, I'm thinking like a black and white color.
No,
Purple.
statutes, rules, and codes are color of law. So when they are ruling on a case, when you're in their company and you are in a controversy with whomever or them, I say them being the state of or the municipality, you always are the liable party in that. So until we correct a record, we're going to go in and be responsible for something that someone else created. And that's where we're not supposed to be the surety for a stranger.
Thank you. So my next question, and then we'll get ready to wrap this up if that's okay. Do you offer one-on-ones, or is there some kind of consult that somebody can speak with you individually if they have an immediate concern or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't like 11th hour stuff, because this is stuff that people have created before, that, I understand it needs to be fixed, but I don't like those because of that. And I'm not going to hide and pretend that I do. I'll help people, and I don't mind giving people help in any way. I want to help anyone that I can. But I do offer consults, one-on-ones with people, and providing remedy to their issues. And each situation is individual. So I can't give like one class and say, okay, everybody go do this.
Right.
It has to be your desires and where you want to be. Some people just want to get out and be done. Some people want to, create a trust where they're going to have protection for their families for future generations. And so that's a legacy trust will be something that is implemented for that type of situation. But there's different situations for different individuals, and each party is at a different place. I talked to somebody that was going through a separation with somebody that they were involved with, and so they're learning how to make interest in a property that they have, real property that they have, and personal property that they have, and make the record of that, because, well, right now it's considered abandoned, and their own titles, even their own certificates of live birth, are abandoned property until we learn to claim them. They don't realize that the notice in the paper for the baby being born is notice of abandoned property that no one ever goes and claims. So that's the initiate point, that we need to learn that something is out there. And those notices are just, even the most subtle things, when you hear an announcement on the TV news about something that's really big and change, it's a notice to see if people are going to object. So it's all a test. We're all being tested all the time. Yeah, we're all being tested to see if we know who we are. And if we know who we are, we're not going to stand for someone to oppress us. We're not going to stand for that. In fact, we have unlimited credit, but we're issuing credit without any sort of stipulation on how to use it. So it's being used against us to oppress us through voters registration applications, through any type of application for driver's licenses, making you trustees of the state.
So that's why we're required to register our vehicles, our children, because when we register things, we're giving them away.
Yep. you're surrendering ownership to them for someone else to control, and you become a secondary party, or secondarily eligible to whatever that benefit is.
Thank you. So I get my last question to end this today would be, from my comprehension, there's several types of trusts out there. One would be able to contact a lawyer and say, hey, I want to set up a trust. Can you explain the difference in the two for me before we end this, for people to comprehend?
So your comprehension of trust needs to be brought to an attorney if you're going to have an attorney do it. But you have to know how you want it done. You have to tell them how you want it done, because they don't know the equitable trusts, or if they do, they're not going to share it with you to do. So you have to be able to explain who you are, and you have to be able to, well, let me just say, the means that I teach you is going into equity so that you can go and receive the ownership of the title from the people that created it. So they're actually surrendering the title. And with that surrender, they create a trust based upon your wishes, because you know what you want, because you know who you are. That's where the key to all of this redemption comes in.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful that you sat down to do this interview today, and hopefully people will reach out to you and follow through with this process and learn more about who they are.
Yeah, you know what? That's all I ask, is that people get involved in realizing that there's things that go on that are around you that we're not paying attention to, and until we start paying attention to those things that exist around us, we're not going to ever come out of this slumber of lack of knowledge. It's not hard. It's right there. It's all available for everyone to use, but you have to know it exists. You have to accept it, and you have to utilize it the way that the Creator gave you to utilize it. So it's a knowledge. Everybody can get it.
So it's like, come out of her, my people. So that's what you're
Absolutely.
come out of her,
Yep.
my people. Thank you.
Yep.
So, okay. Would you, my last question, if you don't mind, would you entertain another interview maybe later down the road?
Yeah, we can talk about that. My schedule is like super busy, but
No worries.
we'll do what we can. Yeah, I mean, we've got I got classes that I teach every Sunday, and then we've got I'm also on the open mic 5 days a week. I try to do that Eastern, 5 p.m. Eastern time, and that's on Telegram. So we'll have links to that stuff on the website so people can get to that.
And I'll make sure I put links too in the bottom of the interview so people can click on it and go right to your website and to the Telegram group.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Thanks,
Awesome.
Stacey.
Thank you so much, Patrick.
Thank you, Jesse.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Oh, wait.
Bye-bye.
Let me see.